I logged on to healthcare.com to try to enroll my family in my healthcare plan. And when I got my email back, my confirmation, I got this after 41 minutes. Please log in again. You're logged out now. Return to your marketplace account here. That's happening all over the country.
You might recognize that fella, Congressman Olson from Texas. We've had him on the show before to talk about oil pipelines. He was talking about the problems that millions of Americans face trying to log in. But as I said yesterday, frankly, that buggy website is the best thing about Obamacare. God forbid it worked. We would find the real problems, that insurance premiums are high, that deductibles are high, that many people could no longer have their old insurance. And of course, the largest problem, the blurring of the boundary between private and public, the essential nationalization of 1/7 of the U.S. economy. Well, joining us now from Washington, D.C. is what I call a common sense liberal. You remember him, he's been on the show before. I'm talking about Mickey Kaus, a columnist with thedailycaller.com. Hey, Mickey, welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Now, Mickey, I love your take on things because you've got a liberal heart. That is, you want to do the right thing, but I think you've got a conservative head, so you want to do it in a sensible way. You have your own individual mandate life insurance. That's what it's called in the States, a little different up here in Canada. And I think you were writing you pay about $900 a month, which is a fair amount of dough for insurance. Tell me about your adventure in going on to healthcare.gov and what made you nervous.
Well,
Go ahead.
It's a very short adventure. I support Obamacare as a matter of policy and also as a matter of personal interest. I was hoping it would save me some money. I'm paying through the nose because I was scared that I had a pre-existing condition, and I was waiting for Obamacare, which guarantees that you'll get insurance even if you have a pre-existing condition. And I went on the site, and you can get through the front end, but they can't tell you what doctors each plan. It's very confusing, and you can't tell which plan gives you access to your doctors because that part of it isn't working. So it was basically useless for me. But California is one of the better states. I mean, the federal government's website, the federal government runs it for states that didn't set up their own, is by far the worst. As you say, the problems are on the back end. The front end problems just mask. If everybody could log on, then we'd confront the problem that it's sending massive amounts of erroneous data to the insurance companies. So it's all a big mess, and it's a disaster for the policy because they got to sign up people or else the whole thing is going to go into a death spiral.
Now, I want to come back to that phrase, death spiral. I heard it before. Joel Pollack mentioned it. I want to talk about that. But so let me make sure I understand you. You're paying a lot of dough because you're worried that if you were to go and get checked out, they'd find a pre-existing condition. You wouldn't get insurance. So you're paying a lot of money for an insurance policy. You went on the California version of the site. It would have saved you, if I recall your column,
right,
$300 a month, and that's not nothing. But if I'm understanding you right,
if I could see my doctor.
Yeah, you didn't sign up for it because you couldn't guarantee that you could get the doctors you wanted. Am I understanding you right?
Right. I mean, I live in a rich part of town. I go to some very good doctors at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, and I want to keep those doctors. And so it's not worth $300 a month to me if I have to go to some lousy doctor across town. So I will find out. Assume eventually they will tell me, or I can actually ask my doctor which plans he accepts, or I can pay an out-of-network fee and go see him anyway, if the fee is low enough. But I just don't know all these things. The site didn't tell me those things, so it was useless to me until it's fixed, and who knows when it's going to be fixed.
Yeah. So you're a pro-Obama.
They're racing against the clock.
Yeah, you're a pro-Obamacare Democrat. You actually ran in the primary a couple of years ago. You took the time to go through this site. It could have worked out for you, but you balked at the end because it was too much uncertainty. I want to ask you, Mickey. I mean, you were probably in the top 0.01% of people motivated to do this. I think almost everyone else in America either is not worried about a pre-existing condition, is some youngster who doesn't even care about life insurance or health insurance, or wouldn't take the time to go through it. Tell me how this leads to your point about the death spiral. Explain death spiral to our viewers and what it means.
Well, in Canada, everybody's in the same system. So you got the really sick people and the healthy people, and it all washes out. In Obamacare, everybody's required to sign up, but we're not sure everybody's going to sign up. And if only the sick people sign up, that means the insurance companies will be saddled with a lot of costs, and they'll have to raise rates next year, which means even fewer healthy people are going to sign up because it's a worse deal. Then they'll raise rates again. Even fewer will sign up, and it spirals into basically being too expensive for anybody to afford. And that's what's called the death spiral. And everybody knew that that was the big potential problem with Obamacare. What the Obama administration doesn't seem to have realized is the website was the key to avoiding that, because the website is where you're going to sign up the young, healthy people who are going to pay for all the older people like me who might have some medical bills someday. So they're very late at realizing the gravity of the problem. I think now they realize how grave it is. But the question is, can they fix it in time?
Yeah. Now, I want to talk to you about something I've seen. I mentioned it yesterday, not only in Florida, where one insurance company just plain old canceled 300,000 policies, basically writing a letter saying, thanks very much for your patronage, but we can no longer give you this policy. I understand that 45% of individual mandated insurance in Philadelphia has been canceled. Hundreds of thousands in your home state of California. Can you explain to our viewers why these insurance companies are canceling business deals, insurance contracts for healthcare that obviously they and their customers were happy with for years? What is motivating them to cancel them, Mickey?
Well, I assume it's one of two factors. First, a lot of plans don't meet the standards that people are required to meet. In other words, you're mandated to get a policy that covers 8 or 9 or 10 essential benefits, including mental health and pregnancy. So they larded all these benefits onto the required plan. And if your old plan didn't meet them, it's no good to you. So
the
a lot
plan's
of people
illegal?
will bail out, and it won't.
So those plans are being rendered
illegal. It's not illegal, but I don't think it's illegal, but it doesn't make any sense for the insurance company if they're going to lose half their customers to Obamacare. So that's the second thing, is are they losing the customers, or they're anticipating losing the customers to these exchanges. I don't think it's illegal to have private insurance, but it won't satisfy the mandate. So what's the point? Now, that's troubling. I'm not so much troubled by employers canceling policies, because it's silly to have an employer-based system anyway. And if the Obamacare exchanges worked, it wouldn't be a problem. People could just leave their employer's insurance and go get private insurance for less money. But somebody described it as like 3 Mile Island. Everything has to work, or else the system melts down. And if the websites don't work, the system melts down. And it's very easy for the system to melt down. So I think they're aware of that now. But, it's a little late.
Mickey Kao, it's great to talk with you. Hope to have you back on to see how this problem is either fixed or gets worse. That's Mickey Kao of the Daily Caller.